Let's talk about this piece of trash. I reviewed the whole Ninja Turtles trilogy. I just finished those set of reviews a few days ago. So if you wanted my thoughts on all three of these movies, you can find them. And it's really nice that how I found these. You know, again, I found these two at a yard sale, $2 a piece. This one at a dollar store, or no, a 99-cent store, which is basically like a Dollar Tree. And this one at a Dollar Tree. And so it's kind of nice that I have all these movies together. I know they put them in like a 4-pack, and yeah, I kind of would prefer to own it in a 4-pack, but the way I bought them was just like, you know, this is a nice way of having them. At least I have them. The reason why I prefer it in a 4-pack is just like, you know, you got 4 movies in one set instead of like all these copies of movies that take up so much space, you know. So I'm very cautious about how I buy movies now. You know, I don't always need a box set of a movie. I just, you know, usually I just need a movie. There's certain reasons I buy box sets and things, but you know, that's a video for another day. I'm getting off track. Yeah, let's talk about this boring piece of garbage. I think there are some good aspects to this movie. Namely that it exists, it's here, and you can watch it. And that's about it. This movie is boring as sin. The pacing here is terrible. And the pacing also is really bad. But the other reason it's so boring is there is absolutely no story. Nothing happens. In fact, all the interesting stuff happens all off screen. Let's get to the worst part about this movie. This setup. The Turtles are now broken up and have jobs. They defeated the Shredder, so he's like dead, I think. They don't really explain it very well, but he's not around anymore. And yeah, he's not around anymore. And why this is such a bad problem is like this movie has no like threat that you feel is intimidating or you know or you're already engaged in. Also, it just throws you into the setup. The Turtles are all broken up and they had some big fight that you never saw. So if you came into this movie and watched this without seeing anything Ninja Turtles before this, you would be so freaking confused. And as a Ninja Turtles fan, I was confused. Because it's like, okay, wait, you had this fight, like why are we not seeing this fight? Why are we not seeing this breakup? Why wasn't this a sequence at the beginning and then that, you know, maybe they did something with it? I think a premise like that could have worked. But you had to show that at the beginning. Maybe make it like a 20 to 30 minute sequence and then you cut to years later. This movie's only like an hour and 27 minutes. This easily could have been like a 2-hour movie. I know this is like an animated kids movie, but like it's not really that fun for kids. It's kind of dark. Like the atmosphere and the tone of it and just the animation. The animation is kind of bad. Like it almost looks like a freaking PS4 video game and like not PS4 because PS4 no, like a PlayStation 2 or 3 game. It doesn't look quite polished enough to say this is a movie. I think it could have looked nice if they'd maybe done a little bit more polishing up on the animation and stuff, but it doesn't look very clean. These designs I feel like could have worked for these characters had they functioned a little better, but also the voice cast here is not very good. They don't do a very good job. Chris Evans is in this movie, Captain America, the newer version of Captain America, not the crappy one from the 90s. The references I make that no one will ever understand but me. He is in this movie as Casey Jones. Pretty terrible performance here. He's Mako, of course, voice of Uncle Iroh, the original voice of Uncle Iroh, and the original voice of Samurai Jack, villain Aku, but he is no longer the voice of those characters because he sadly passed away. In fact, they made that an episode of Avatar: Last Airbender dedicated to him, and then when they brought Samurai Jack back for season 5, they replaced him because, of course, he had passed away since then, which was very unfortunate. But the voice of Master Splinter was kind of a smart choice, but I don't want to say the voice acting is really bad. I think the problem here is the people here are trying, but there's not enough voice direction of what they're supposed to be doing, and it doesn't come across very well. It's not a fun Ninja Turtles movie. It doesn't feel like a Ninja Turtles movie. It feels like a Daredevil movie or something. Like, it's just very awkward, very clunky, and it's not a good movie at all. Like, you could not... like, even on an entertainment scale, it's not good. I mean, you say what you will about those 2014 and a Ninja Turtle movie that was like produced by Michael Bay and stuff. Those two movies, they're not good movies. They're awful, so poorly written. But they're like, the performances are like not that great, and they're just, the dialogue and everything about it's really bad. But you can watch that and find it really fun to watch. Like, I found those movies fun to watch. Now I'm just like, get that out of here. But, like, someone could watch it and theoretically enjoy them. And, that's a thing you could do, right? This, you could not do that. There's nothing here. It's boring. It's tar. And at least those movies introduce you to the Ninja Turtles. You're like, yes, there's the Ninja Turtles. I get it. I get who these characters are. I get where they come from. I get, it's not a good version of the Ninja Turtles, like, at all. But at least you get to see the Ninja Turtles being Ninja Turtles. You don't get to see that in this movie. It wouldn't work for new fans or old fans. It's boring. It's a nothing movie, and there's no reason to watch this movie unless you're a really big Ninja Turtles fan and you feel like you have to watch everything Ninja Turtles, but I really don't see any use for this movie at all. But I'm interested to see what the commentary by writer and director Kevin Moreau, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but yeah, he might be interesting. His commentary might be interesting to listen to. But besides that, I just no. I really think these are the best Ninja Turtle movies we'll ever get. This is the best one. This is the second best, and we will never get anything better than these ever again. Honestly, I wish I could have more hope than that, but I just can't. Like, I just don't see it happening. Some people might be saying I'm a little too harsh, and perhaps I am, but, I just can't see it ever happening anytime soon. Ninja Turtles are kind of just, I don't know. They haven't got someone who's really had a love for the property is the problem. And they've just gotten people who just like, the Ninja Turtles, I'll just reboot it. They've got people who have a love for the property who do the, series and stuff, but not like someone who actually loves the property in like movie form or whatever, because like TMNT, the 2012 series, that one is really good, and the people behind it really love what they're doing. But when you watch the movie, it just doesn't feel that way. The movies just never really felt like that, except for the first two. But yeah, at least I'm done talking about the Ninja Turtle stuff, and I can move on to some movies I need to watch, like the Sherlock Holmes movie, this copy of Sleeping Beauty I need to watch that I've had for a while, Jungle Book, the 2016 remake, that is, that one, Lincoln, so that's, both versions of True Grit, the original and the remake, so that includes the John Wayne version. gotta watch. I gotta watch Rudy, Bounty Hunter, from the director of Hitch. Never seen that movie. Dirty Dancing and Dirty Dancing Hawaiian Nights. Salt. What is this? The Black Stallion, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Fiddler on the Roof. And, oh yeah, I gotta watch Anaconda. Roxanne, you don't have to turn on the red light. Don't sing that song to a girl named Roxanne. Because if you know what that song is about, I'm not going to say what it is about because PG. We're going to keep it PG here on the show. This isn't a show, but, I'm going to keep it PG. Children watch sometimes, and you can't control what children watch. But, yeah, we're going to keep PG. Great band. I love The Police, but that song is not meant to have been sung to a girl named Roxanne Mothra. And I'm also watching through Aquaman. I got the 4K still I haven't watched. So yeah, let me grab all these movies down here and kind of show you what I got here. What I got. And then I also have several series I'm also currently watching through. So I have my work cut out for me. I do. I got a lot of stuff here. I gotta watch. It. That's right. I gotta watch it. And, yeah, there's always more movies I buy. Because it never stops. My addiction never stops. It really does not. So, maybe I should put on Sleeping Beauty tonight. It puts me to sleep every time I watch it. That was a joke. Because she falls asleep in the movie. Alright, I'm just going to turn off the camera. Sometimes I just wonder why I keep the camera on so long. It's like, man, just shut up. Turn off the camera.